No, not right now. But you guys have, look, listen, this, this, this is for whatever reason, with this class is beginning to be a growing, ongoing problem. You know, I've already had like 3 or 4 people come up here and say, I don't have the notes, and we just handed those out. I mean, I don't know where you guys are at, why you're not paying attention, and why you're not doing what you need to do. You guys think this is, you come in here and you think it's some kind of social hour or whatever, but that's not the case. You guys, when you come in, you do stuff out, we need to get it together. Here's the notes right here. Okay, you have a goal and you have a why. You guys have that written down? Yeah. Okay, good. Now, for me, I think today, this is going to be really easy for you. I think for the most part. It's just a matter of plugging numbers in. The one problem, the one thing that you run into when you're dealing with exponents and powers is when you start adding grouping symbols and brackets and parentheses, it changes the order of things and how you do them. And that's where most everybody has their hang up. All right? So looking at example 1. Now, make sure that you pay close attention. Listen to me.
Can you go back? Because I wasn't here yesterday to copy down all that.
Just get it from all your classmates in a little bit.
All right.
Let's just do this one first. Okay, so one thing that I want you to pay attention to is the wording. Because on the daily quiz that you guys are going to have tomorrow, there's a couple questions on there that are very specific to the wording. Okay? And if you don't understand what's going on, you're going to get confused. And this is one of those. When I say meaning, you need to understand what I'm talking about. Is when you answer questions, it asks you just for the meaning of it. All right? So pay attention when I explain this. How would I write 15 to the, how would I write that in words? 15 to the what?
First power.
Good. To the first power. What does that mean? What's the little 1 mean? How many 15s do I have? One, just one. So the meaning is, basically, I just have 1 15. Now I want you to write this down too, because this is going to apply to other things. Right above it, write a couple of variables like this. I should keep a couple of variables too. Okay, now, you need to understand or need to know, and it's all based off of this rule right here, and this is why I can do this. If you notice 15 to the first power, it didn't change the value of 15, did it? No. It kept it the same. Okay? So, in other words, I can write 15 just by itself, and then it's always understood that it's a power of what? 1. And the reason why I can do that, because it doesn't change the value of it. Is everybody clear on that? Yeah. Okay, same thing with variables. If it doesn't have an exponent or a power, then it's always understood to be what? X to the first power, y to the z to the so on and so forth. Is everybody clear on that? Yeah. Okay, write this down, and you need to pay attention to what's going on, because you need to know this for later on down the road for algebra 2. Now, the whole reason for that is because you have rules. And what I mean by that is if I say x to the first times x to the second, let's say I don't even put 1 up there. Okay, what is that going to equal? What would that equal? X to the what? To the third, right? How do you know it's the third? Because it's x to the first, isn't it? So by rule, if I'm multiplying 2 numbers that have the same base, or 2 variables that are the same, we do what with the exponents? So it'd be 1 plus 2, which equals what?
3.
To the third. And that's why we do that. Everybody understand? Hopefully you're writing this down because this is going to be information you're going to need to know later on down the road. Okay, what about B? How would I write that in words?
5 to the second power.
5 to second power. What's a more popular or more common way?
5 squared.
5 squared, right? Okay, what's its meaning?
5 what?
Exactly. 5 times 5. So the exponent basically tells me how many times I'm doing multiplying the base, right? Are you going to write this stuff down or you just going to stare up in space?
I did.
Well, why are you staring up into space, man?
I'm waiting for the next one.
Pay attention, all right? Next to something stupid. Gotta wake up. All right. What about the C?
6 to the third power.
Good. 6 to third power. Or 6 what?
6.
That's the more popular way, right? 6 cubed. Yes.
Mr. Morris,
Yes, ma'am.
can I see Tara Witt in the attendance office? Thank you.
Okay. You want to do the next one? Yeah. What's the meaning?
6 times 6 times 6.
Very good. 6 times 6 times 6. Now, do you guys know, or do you know how to find what those equal? You know how to do that on your calculator?
5 times 5.
Yeah, don't they have like little buttons?
Yeah, everybody get your calculator out because you're going to need it later.
I don't feel like that.
It's all right.
I don't like that.
This one's like-
Right.
You wouldn't say anything? You have one. Because
I'll show you.
Thanks, bud.
Okay, everybody look over here real quick. Okay, now this is how you figure out the value, or you evaluate or solve. Now notice I just said evaluate, right? Did I say find the meaning of?
No.
Okay, I just said evaluate. The way to do this is the first thing you want to do is type in the base number. Let's look at C. What's the base number there?
6.
6. Good. Type that in. Okay, now the other button that you're looking for is you're looking for this little button here that looks like a house, a rooftop. Looks like a house. Type that. Hit that button, and then the next number I need to type is what? 3. Good.
And the answer is
Hit enter.
16.
216. If you got something other than 216, okay, you're doing something wrong. Okay, example 2, let's look at this. Evaluate the expression x to the 5th power with x equals 2. So I'm going to substitute what for x here?
2.
2, good. So 2 to the 5th power. Now, it says write the factors, but that's the same thing as the meaning. Write that down. Okay, so if I'm going to write the meaning, what is it? Or the factors, how many? What do I write down? Very nice, good. How many times? 5 times, good. Now you guys remember in pre-algebra last year, did you guys do any factoring or factor trees or anything like that? Okay. An easy way that I can do this without using a calculator is just use like a downward factor tree. If I multiply those two numbers, what's it going to give me?
32.
No.
Oh, 4.
Those two would be what? And then bring my 2 down. 4 times 4 is, bring my 2 down, and that gives me
32. Or 32, sorry.
32. Real simple. So a couple different options that you guys can use to help you evaluate those. It's pretty simple, right?
Yes.
Okay, example 3, evaluate the expression a minus b to the fourth power when a equals 5, b equals 3. So substitute 5 for, and then 3 for, so 5 there, 3 there. So what would I do first? The order of operations is something I gotta do inside parentheses, right? So that's gonna be 2. Write the factors or the meaning. Okay, I can do this real quick. That's 4 times 4, which is 16. You got it? Pretty simple, huh? Okay, next one. Evaluate the expression a squared plus b squared when a equals 7 and b equals 4. Okay, so substitute what for a?
7.
And
4.
4 for b. 7 squared, 4 squared. What's 7 squared?
14.
Good. And then 4 squared? Not 8, 16.
I'm like on a roll.
Okay, so 49 plus 16, that would be
65.
Okay, got 2 checkpoint problems. You guys work those real quick. We'll give you a little bit of time to work them on your own. And we'll check them.
Destiny is the one we all know that.
Okay, anybody like to walk me through the first one? Just kind of read it like you would a book. And what I mean by that is you have the first line, right? What's the first line? 3n plus n to the third power, right? So how does my second line change?
All the n's on.
Yeah, so read it off like a book.
3 squared, 3 squared, 3 to the 5th power. And 6 to the 5th.
Say plus 3 to the 5th plus
5 to the 3rd power.
Very good. Okay, now what?
You read to the fifth line.
Yeah, just read me the next line.
Go to the fifth line plus 6 to the fifth line.
Alright, I got that.
Read the next one.
What's the
Oh, I got 243 plus 125.
there you go. 243 plus 125.
Yeah.
And then your last line is going to be
368.
368. You see how I'm reading it off though? How I want you to read it off? That's how I want you to show your work. Okay? You basically, what is happening here, guys, when you show your work? What's happening is the equation or the expression is doing what? Yeah, it's transforming, isn't it? It's changing as you go, isn't it? Okay, so you got to show me how it's changing. If I see this on your paper like this right here, then I can tell you exactly where you're making your mistakes. Does everybody understand? Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Okay. What about number 2? Somebody walk me through it. Now, is it okay to add grouping symbols? Yeah, it's okay, right? Matter of fact, on this one, I'm going to add some grouping symbols. Okay, so any brackets or parentheses in there?
Yes. The whole equation except you're leaving out. The last.
Okay, is this exponent 4, is it on the C or is it on 3 or is it on both of them? It's just on C, isn't it? Okay, no, that's a common mistake that everybody makes. They think it's on both of them, and it's not. Alright, or that I can do what? These two first before I find the power. Can I do that? No. Okay. I'm going to add a couple different grouping symbols. And I want you guys to write these down so you can kind of see. I'm going to add some brackets just like that. Because inside, I'm going to show my multiplication. And then I'll put my power inside with the 2. You guys write that down. Do it on the back or on the front, right next to it. Minus 18 and then 2 right there. So like I said, it's okay to add grouping symbols even though they're not there. So all I'm doing is showing the order of operation here. Okay, so now if I look at the second line right here, does that tell you exactly what I'm doing first or next? Yeah. So what's got to change here? What's got to transform?
The 2, the 4.
What is that going to be?
That's 16.
Good. 16. Good. Now notice I'm going to do this, right? So what happens to my parentheses? I can drop them, can I? So if I can drop those, I'm going to drop the brackets on the outside. So that's 48. Where that? I didn't really have to add some parentheses, did I? Very good. Got something other than 900. You got your order messed up somewhere. Everybody good? Any questions? Pretty easy, isn't it? Okay, go back on the front. Mark your basket for me. Tell me where you think you're at after we just went through that.
Anywhere?
No, on the bottom. The box at the top right.
Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry. Mr. Morris, I still have those to put them in my locker.
Not right now. That's good. Well, I don't know about that one. That one, yeah, that TI-30 right there, it'll do fractions. That'll do mixed numbers too. It'll even convert mixed numbers to improper fractions. The TI-30 is pretty nice. It's a nice algebra 1 calculator because it does a lot of operations that your 84 won't do. Of course, your 84, the TI-84 that you guys are going to need for algebra 2,
I understand that they do.
it'll graph lines for you, all kinds of lines. The big thing is you just got to know how to input all the information. That's why on Alpha 2 you're going to need 5 probably.
We need an extra one. I think it's kind of weird that we have a Norris and a Morris. Yeah.
Weird about that.
I don't know, I get confused. Because there's one other difference. It's in and in. And I think it's weird that there's a lot of Martins. I don't know. People come to the world and like Chinese, or not Chinese, English, everything's or all like one thing that's zero. What? We're not related.